Hey, guess who? It's the diary room. That's what this is on Big Brother. I woke up this morning having that dream again, but also I'm sure this was actually happening, but not part of the dream. My phone was still going, and maybe it was part of the dream there, but it was a YouTube about Paris or France burning at the moment, and I was then started thinking about my weird coloured rain and where it might be coming from. If it's to do, what are they burning in Paris at the moment? Everything. That's all I was thinking, actually. That's where I was. That's it. I haven't really got anything else to say. I wanted to do my YouTube. I couldn't see the sun, and I've got someone going, "Yeah, it's surrounded by trees, isn't it? That's not the best place in the allotment." You know that though, because you used to have one. Or when you if you like with get the words out, estate agents like no one ever wants to buy a house near a school, etc. But dreams though, dream analysis. But I was just thinking this morning. No, but I do get the morning sun, don't I? I get the early morning sun. I'm up with the lark, and I was out here this morning enjoying it again. What else have I done already? Well, I've uncovered all my plants. I thought I'd give them a bit of this early morning light. You want to have a look at them? There's the pak choi, still struggling through. I think it's got its second leaves coming through, its true leaves coming through. Borage over the back. Something over there's taken a hit. I don't know what though. And there was a great big slug over there, so I've picked it up and chucked it off. But apparently there'll be more of those crawling around today. Which, do you know what? My life. I'll just keep muttering away. The sweet, they called these things the forget-me-nots. They've all gone pink this morning. Look, I've noticed that they've gone pink today. They were blue yesterday. They've gone back to blue. Maybe they are turning because they go pink at the end, don't they? There's my starling. Hello. Look, that's the starling that came yesterday, I'm sure. And this is his plate of bread and milk that I put him out. His tray of bread and milk. Not had any yet. I wonder if he'll come down and have some. I like that. Or maybe he smelt me undoing my vegetables. Let's go and pull them all up. Hello. What am I going to call them? Maybe that's because I bought that Nova. What did I buy was Nova yesterday? Because Novas are stars, aren't they? My starlings. My starlink birds. There's a third one over there. Are they like minor birds, starlings? Can they learn to talk? Jesus Christ, as they talking starlings and talking magpies. Oh. They can talk. In birds. I'm sure they can talk. Mimic. But the magpie wasn't mimicking. It was using language, but it was using it in context. This is what I found fascinating about it. It was communicating using human, well, not even just human, because it was mimicking like the bin lorry reversing as well. But it was using things contextually. That's why I found it, I've said it so many times, haven't I? But because it used to peck people when you used to go in and feed it in its cage, in its enclosure. I wasn't there very much, but before I got thrown off. I got thrown off the animal sanctuary again, story of my life. But it used to, like, this girl, another girl who worked there. I was watching it. She had these patterns on a what's it called, fleece, and it would peck them. And whilst it was pecking her, it was going, "Don't do that, because clearly when it was pecking it would be told not to do it. So, but it was doing it as a humorous thing. It was doing it on purpose. It was pecking raw and saying, "Don't do that." It tried to peck me once, and I flicked it, and I think I might have I might have flicked it in the eye, but it didn't do it again. It didn't do it well. It's just boundary setting, isn't it? But I used to feed it. There was that clip of me feeding it through the cage, and it was a bit pecky. And I know magpies are, well, sometimes it's like anything, though, isn't it? I think that comes from knowing about dog rehab, the bit I have learnt, and timing and things like that. It's funny though. Hey, there's Jackal. Over. Magpie was looking at the bread and milk that was flying over the other day. It's like, why is that called that and I haven't? It was eyeing it up. And my flying mouse was a long-tailed tit. I remembered after I went to bed. But, oh my God, it was so cute though. And that's why I was pleased to see that other thing and learn more about them. And their other names, like Bum Muffin. I don't know, it was a bum muffin. It's a flying mouse. It's a flying mouse. Look, my cat laser's coming in. I've got the cat laser pointed on them. The sights, the night sights of I'm in sight. Probably from Starlink again. Oh no, it's a crackdoor. I don't care if I haven't got it on film. I don't want to spoil it for everyone else, but it was just nice for me that it happens, and it was really good watching them eating all the bugs as well, picking over the trees. So I was thinking that box up there, the holes in it, just the right size for a flying mouse. Oh God, please let the flying mouse come in it. It's not going to, no, probably not, but I just like the thought of it. I love flying mice so much. They're my favourite things. Why are they flying mice? Because they're so small, like little mice. And they've got a face like little mice, and they've got a long tail. Like a mouse. And they're so cute. And it was with a blue tit as well. And then I saw on that other person's thing, who knows more about them than me, that they hang out with blue tits sometimes when they're not in a breeding thing. Pair, mated, what's it called? Union. And that they do an unusual thing, which is like if they lose a brood or whatever, they'll pair up with and help feed another nest. But other birds do that, don't they, as well? I know, what did I read before? Not jays, but corvids, which is crows and ravens. So probably a lot of birds do, because they all mate, a lot of them mate for life, don't they? And if they lose a partner, I read that before. I think it's crows. If they lose a partner, they'll take a same-sex partner. They won't take another breeding partner, because their love is so entwined, and they'll raise together like, oh, I can't remember. They're just going to steal babies, probably. They're going to steal babies off other nests and just look after them in their own style. It's not quite like that, but and help raise other, whatever. You know what I mean, anyway. No, not really, but it might not be true. It might just be what they've studied in certain groups. Hey, he's back there. They're all looking for food. I've not fed them today, apart from this bread and milk that I'm guarding. They want to know. They've all come to see that. What's going on? What's this bread and milk situation? For the crumbulation. Is it crumbulation day today? Oh God, the jets should be over, shouldn't they? Oh, I hope they come over my garden, especially the red arrows. Well, I've got a magpie instead. They're coming from that direction. That's not Kent. Wait. Is it there? What direction's that? Hang on. Oh, maybe. No, that's. Oh, yeah. They're just flying around. They're crossing about. One for luck. Maybe they're not coming over this way. I have to go over there. Jesus Christ. You make me work my fun, don't you? You couldn't get the airspace. Oh. There's too many squirrels around. Fine. Blackbird on the roof. A different song for Blackbird. What's wrong with your voice? He's crying for hunger. It's food. He's crying for food. He's pining. Let's go and get some real ones. Why did I put this? I'll tell you why I put this old, that nutmeg that had, well, started to disintegrate in the plant pot that I tried to grow. And it did smell of petrol, so I then started wondering if that had come from wherever it had been grown, or, you know, they'd pulled it out of the ground or whatever. Or if it's just the natural way of nutmeg decomposing, if it gives off a scent of petrol. But it should put the mice off. Whether it's the nutmeg or the petrol, or a combination of both. Or just the smell. Well, the smell of petrol. You know what I mean, don't you? In the seaside town, they forgot to. Yeah, it really does smell. When it ruined the plants. Well, it was in that plant pot and they were all growing, so that's why I'm really just putting a dusting around. But I was wondering, how did I think of doing that? Well, do you know what? My old grandfather, who's always talking in my left ear, told me to do it. But I was wondering, is it kerosene they used to use in the kerosene heaters in the greenhouse? I don't know if that puts off certain things as well, does it? The smell of it. Right, let's put some mealworms out. Think about the dream some more. Well, I can't really remember the beginning of it, but I was like, I had this plot out the back of this sort of allotment place. And it was when I was leaving in the evening. And the sun was going down. And I could see across the fields, and I was thinking, oh, I miss being out here. Or I miss this walk home or something. It was something like that. I can't really remember. So a slight sort of and there was another plot up near some horses, and I thought, oh, do you know what? I would have gone up, I could swap and go up that, and there was somebody else on it. I think something like that. Yeah. But I wasn't sure if they were working it or just looking on it. Oh, that was it anyway. Basically, very exciting. And it's fun anyway, isn't it? When you've got allotments to look at other people's and see what else they're doing. What are you doing in yours? That's doing well. How long have you been doing this blog? Oh, generations, hundreds of years actually. It's been passed down through. I don't know. Generations. Getting your muck off those horses. That's why your plants are torn up already. Right. Hey, look, there's a snail snuck in. He's a big one, isn't he? These are Dutch snails, aren't they? It's also one that I threw before because he's got a chip on his shell. Probably from where I threw him onto a road with the hedgehog. He wasn't having it, clearly. He's come back again. They grow back, don't they? With the calcium. Sorry, mate. I'll do it again, though. I'm telling you straight. Look, his fingers are coming out. He trusts me. Where should I put him? It's not so ghastly as lobbing him over the wall. I let all the ones go in the bucket the other day because I thought the dog was crying and I thought she could hear the snails screaming something was going on, so I had to go and where did I put them? I put them out the front, I think. Maybe I should. Is it you? And you've crawled back round. Maybe I should do it again. Start putting them in a bucket and just sticking them out the front in the hedgehog centre, in the hedgehog entrapment unit. Maybe I could do that. Should I do that? What do you think? I think his breathing thing's coming out as well. Jesus Christ. What do I think? Well, I just put compost, like a bit of like compost stuff in it. Hey, there's another one under there already. In this old bucket. How did I do it before? Oh, I know. Oh shit, that one's fallen in the pond, excuse my language. I'll leave that one. It's only because I found him on my plants. I told you I've got a very strict policy. If I find them anywhere near my plants, they have to go. If they can stay over this end. Oh, something's in tune of foxgloves though. Keep them somewhere cool. Baking. That happened before with some landsnakes we had as pets. What was the cuthbert worm? Well, I saw there was a massive earthworm came out when I planted the hops. That's not a cuthbert worm. This cuthbert worm it looked like a clear jelly bean. It was about this long, which is about 1.5 inches, with sort of speckles in it. It wasn't newt's eggs, but when I found it the first time, I wondered if because newt's eggs are like longer, aren't they? I don't know what it is. It's a cuthbert worm. I've had other odd things grown in buckets before. It's like, what on earth are you? There's like these white, not what I'd think of as leeches, but maybe they are leeches. Weird ones. And they've grown. It's like, I don't know what you are, but it's quite interesting to see you exist. So, it's probably something that's come from, what's the chemical factory up the road? Near the UEA, where they make all the things. They probably bred them up there in the laboratory and then had to get rid of them, so they dumped them in the lake. I don't know. No idea what it is, to be honest. I just called it a cuthbert worm. The agricultural place. We went there on a school trip once. I also know people who work there. We all know people who work there, they say. Well, I'm just making wild speculations anyway, based on my knowledge of, past historical actions and, my love of fairy stories, tale telling, the long-tailed tit, that's what. But it doesn't seem to have done any harm to the pond. Well, I can factually correlate. And it survived as long as the ponds as well, so that's another interesting thing for me. Hey, there's another cute little snail. Let's look at this one. It's got a different pattern on it. That's a baby Dutch. This as well. It's got, it looks like a crossbreed. They always do. It's got sort of stripes. They always have that. I like the little yellow and brown striped marsh ones. And I told you I found one of them little tiny pinwheel snails the other day, which I've not seen one of those since the 70s probably. Well, maybe one or two. They're tiny. They're about this size, but they're flatter. Like, not squashed, but like thin rather than round. He stayed. I'm going to flip him up there though, or back there. I'm going. I'll talk to you later.